Open pitch to Keene.
Thank you, Jake. You're welcome.
Final score of today's game. Goffstown 42, Concord 7. Thanks to all the officials.
You know, I thought we played hard. We made a lot of plays. So a lot of good stuff, certainly. You know, the penalties were concerning. Seeing some stuff on film where just really dumb penalties. You know, blocking in the back where it's clearly you're seeing the guy's back. You know.
Guys, the biggest thing about punt returns is do not block in the back. It's never worth it. It's easy for the ref to see. You're always going to get caught. So just don't. I'd rather you don't make a block than block the guy in the back if it's close.
Turnover and a run back and the flag on the play.
I think it felt awesome. You know, it showed that we're actually a good team now because Concord's they're a great team. Like they played good defense against us, but to be able to
And some assignment stuff that I was really bummed that we missed. Some fundamentals on defense that it's kind of some guys are not quite playing at the level we need them to play at. A lot of guys are, and those guys are the ones making plays and they're doing a great job. We need to get all 11 guys out there doing that, and we're not there right now. So I'm a little concerned about that. So
I was actually just talking to the coaches, and the first thing I said once they said they were like watching the games and Keene film and stuff, I just asked, so how bad did we do? Because we had a lot of good games last year, and we'd come in and watch film, and Coach Huff would just be like, how the hell did we win this game? And he would just notes after notes of things we did wrong. But I would just like to see a perfect game. That'd be pretty crazy.
Well, it was the first game, so it doesn't mean we're going to do good so far. We just got to keep working. But we just work throughout the whole season, and if we just keep doing that, then we'll do pretty good so far.
I don't worry about it for myself because that game's in the past and nobody really I don't care about it anymore. It doesn't mean anything going forward. I worry about other kids doing that because some people will hear all this stuff, read all these articles, see all this talk, and get caught up in it. And I try as hard as I can to keep kids down and not thinking about that.
I mean, I'm sure some of us are going to have that thought right now, but after today's film, and Coach Huff's going to humble us out real quick. He'll make sure that we know that we got to work.
I don't think so, just because it's going to be pretty obvious in film. So we'll show them the film in a little bit, and it's, you know, we're going to see stuff that they're not doing it the way that they are supposed to do it according to the game plan or just kind of the basics of football. So I think it'll be pretty evident to them. Maybe they'll be surprised by it, but if they want to get better and they want to, you know, be a playoff team at the end of the year, we got to correct some of these things.
I don't know much about them, to be honest with you. You know, I know they beat Alvern on Friday, and that was a surprise to me. Actually, I thought Alvern was going to beat them. But I just know we're going to have to work this week because they're another team that's trying to beat us, so we got to take them out.
Keene strikes me as being very well coached, especially on defense. They do some stuff where they can dictate to you where the ball's going to end up, and they have guys to fill those lanes that open up. They know where it's going to happen. The defensive backs are very well coached. They stay back. They're conservative. They don't give up the big play. Alvern was able to get chunks of yardage, but they never really broke a long one. Special teams was well coached. That caught all of our eyes, actually. And then offensively, they mix it up. They're multiple. They do different formations, different plays out of the formations. They don't throw a lot, but when they do, they hit a few big plays, which kind of sealed the game for them. And they got a couple of athletes that run really well. I understand they're younger on the line right now, but they got young kids playing hard. And then the skill players they have they're a force to be reckoned with. So it'll be interesting.
Not much, but that's a good thing. We don't know if they're good. We don't know if they're bad. We just know they're undefeated and they got the same record as us. They're coming here, so hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing we did last weekend.
There's some things that will probably surprise you, like we don't know any of the players that are good, so maybe one of them will just show out. I look at it anywhere.
Definitely saw a team that, you know, Alvern's a good team that has some talented players, and Keene was able to really neutralize them, played very tough, and they came back and won a game that was a dogfight. So kind of a big eye-opener for us as coaches and hopefully for the players as well, because you don't want to have that letdown. You don't want to have a great week 1 win and then go into week 2 and facing a tough Division I team. There's no bye weeks. I mean, we're going to show up and play well, so it might help a little bit as far as getting their attention.
I don't know. I mean, we played them my freshman year. I remember that, and we beat them a lot, actually. Like, we killed them. But I don't know. I just feel like it's another game. We just got to take it as another game. Nothing special. We just got to go out there and do our job and finish.
I think it's interesting for sure. You know, in the old days when we were stuck in one division, you'd play the same teams year after year. It would build up some nice rivalries, and you could get a little more of a chess match going where you're going based off of what he did to you the year before, which was based off of what you did the year before that, and you know, moves and counter moves type of stuff. Not as much of that when you're playing a team for the first or second time, maybe, but it's kind of interesting, yeah, to see, you know, how do they do it. Keene does things differently than the teams we saw in Division III, so it's exciting in that sense, and it's a challenge because you don't have as good of a grasp as you might like. Hopefully what that does is force us to kind of deal more with ourselves and self-improvement, which is probably what we should be focusing on anyways. And I get guilty at times of trying to do too much and get too intricate with stuff, so I think this will hopefully help keep me in check a little bit.
There we go. Touchdown, North.
played a little bit better than we had the week before. We corrected some mistakes that we had. There were still things that we need to work on. And it's some of the smaller stuff. It's certain footwork with linemen, or receivers were better overall, but some blocking stuff wasn't quite where we want it to be. You know, having said that, it was really good. I mean, the kids played really hard. They took the field with energy. We hit the ground running this time. It wasn't like a slow start like it had been for the Jamboree. And even week 1 against Concord, we went, it was 3 and out, right? Mm-hmm. So we went 3 and out there. So a little bit better start this time. And, you know, it was a good game. It was a good showing. There's some stuff to work on, especially for the younger guys. And that's not something that you can just kind of pass off and say, so we'll worry about that later. I mean, the reality is we want to be good at all levels, and we want to be good for a long time. So in order to do that, your young guys have got to play well. So we're trying to get more emphasis on really coaching up the young guys during practices. So this film is something we'll use for that.
It's definitely frustrating how the defense just couldn't even get a break. You know, we come off the field, sit on the sidelines, get a squirt of water. 2 plays later, oh, right back out. And then, I mean, especially for me too, like kick off, kick return, punt return, you know, and defense. It's like I never got any time off, and neither did the defense. So the defense was gassing pretty hard, but the offense is just kind of sitting on the sidelines, like cheering us on, you know.
Can't be mad about it because we were doing so well on offense, and really, it's a lot of work being out there so much, but it shows that on offense we're doing good and on defense we're doing good. It means, I guess, the better you play, the more in shape you're going to be, because that's how I feel after last week's game for sure. And it just makes you feel good.
They're giving us a ton of crap on the sidelines. It was so funny. Connor had one play and scored right away, and just kept getting so mad at us.
Yeah, it's tricky. Again, I've been in that situation before. It's been a while since we've been there at Goffstown. And you know, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's nice, and we'll take the explosive plays, and somewhat the offense is kind of designed to get explosive guys the ball in situations where they can make big plays happen. So that's part of the plan. Having said that, there are definitely going to be times where you don't do that. You don't break a big play, but you're able to get 3 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry, a 6-yard pass. You know, can you sustain a drive, meaning that you're not committing penalties, there's no false starts, it's not 1st and 20, you're getting some yardage each play, you're converting 3rd downs. I don't know how many 3rd downs we've even had yet this year. You know, so we haven't done those types of things. We can simulate it in practice. We can tell them it's a 3rd down situation in practice. You know, it at least develops a mindset a little bit, but it's just not the same. So I think what we do is we prep, we practice it, we talk about it, and then there will come a time when we have to do it. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that we haven't had to do it. It's just a case of us needing to be ready once we do. And when that challenge comes, hopefully we'll meet it, but we won't know until it happens.